Hello, my friends. My name is Jason Gorenstein, and this is our Integrative Wellness class. Today is Friday, June the 5th, 2020. This is at 3 p.m. to 3:55 p.m. So I just wanted to thank you guys for being here today. This is a earlier recorded class. I unfortunately was unable to be here to do this live. So hopefully you guys can attend and enjoy the practice. So without further ado, let's begin our class today. And as you feel ready, let's start by coming to a standing position now. So let's find our way to a standing position. And just begin at the top of the mat, standing, center of the mat, lifted chest here. Very good. All right, and we're going to begin just by simply noticing our body. So noticing our feet, noticing our shins, feeling into our knees, our thighs, pelvis, chest, heart, sternum, crown of the head. And as you feel ready to here, float the arms up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the fingers. As you exhale, hinging at the hips and folding forward. Good. As you inhale, peeling up the chest here. As you exhale, lengthening on down. Inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling, palms face. As you exhale, floating the hands back to the sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, hinging at the hips, floating all the way forward. Inhale, sweeping through the chest here. As you exhale, landing the hands down on the mat. Inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, bringing the hands back down to the sides. One more time. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, hinging down the hips, folding all the way forward. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. As you exhale, releasing the torso all the way down. Inhale, floating the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana pose, and as you exhale, releasing the hands down to the sides, palms face the front of the room. Hands come to the sides of the waist. Step the feet wide apart here and come into a wide stance pose. So for today's practice, an idea is to be with grounding. And when we take this pose, this wide ankle pose, we have an opportunity to feel into our feet and really to connect with our feet. So as you feel ready, turn the feet over to the right side of the room. Hands are on the hips and just bend into that right knee here. And begin to straighten through that right leg. So as you bend into that right knee, notice here your feet pressing down. You do want to feel your toes are soft though, so you can lift the toes up off the mat as you bend into that right knee. That's it. Now straighten through the right leg, hinge at the right hip, and just lean on forward. Inhale, lifting the chest here, bending through the right knee and lifting through the chest. Again, straightening through the right leg, hinging at that hip and leaning forward one more time. Inhale, lifting through the chest, bending through the right knee here, lifting the chest up. So as you straighten through that right leg, spin your right foot in. And be here for a moment. Be here with both sides of the feet. Notice your right foot, notice your left foot. Very important. Spin your right foot in. Spin your left leg out. And once again, bend deeply into that left knee. That's it. Straighten through that left leg. Very good, guys. As you exhale, bending deeply into that left knee. Nice. Inhale, straightening through that left leg. Yes. Exhale, bending through that left knee. Very good. Inhale, straightening through that left leg, hinging at the hips here, and leaning all over the left side of the body. Very good. Inhale, floating the chest on up, turning both feet back to parallel, and stepping your feet back together. Inhale, floating those arms up as the palms touch. As you exhale, hinging at the hips here. Inhale, peeling up the chest, lengthening halfway. As you exhale, hinging at the hips again. Inhale, floating those arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, gliding the hands out to the sides, palms face the front of the room. Inhale, floating the arms up. Interlace those fingers and take the arms up towards the ceiling. Glide the fingers over to the right side of the room. Inhale, back to center. Glide the fingers over the left side of the room. Inhale, back to center. Look up towards those fingers as you exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold all the way down. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Take the palms up towards the ceiling. Breathe here as you bend into those knees. Keep the chest lengthening down towards the floor. Release the head all the way down. Good. Take the hands back. Bring them to the low back. Inhale. Peel up the arms. Lengthen through the fingers as you bend those knees. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. Glide the fingers over to your left. Back to center again. Glide the fingers over to your right. Back to center again. Bend those knees, bend those knees, bend those knees. Utkatasana chair pose. Interlace the hands behind the back. Press the palms up towards the ceiling and breathe here. Release the forehead down to the mat. Keep lifting up through those thigh bones as you release the chest all the way down. Inhale, peeling up here, lifting through the fingers. Exhale, straightening through the legs and taking the hands to the hips. Walk the feet wide apart. Walk the feet wide apart. Walk the feet wide apart. From here, turn both feet over to the right again and glide your right hand down that right leg. Nice. So feel the stretch in the entire right leg and left leg here. Press down through the right ball of the foot. Firm the right outer buttocks in and begin to feel that left heel pressing on down. Good. Inhale, float the left arm up. As you glide that left arm up, wrap the right outer armpit in and begin to lift up through the left fingers. Inhale, float the left arm up and bring your hands to your hips. Bend into that right knee. Now lift the right toes off the mat and just see if you can lift through the right side of the chest here. Good. Straighten through the right leg. Turn the right foot back to center. Turn the left foot out. Very nice. Once again here, begin to hinge forward. Glide the left hand down the leg here. So as we take this pose, it's a modified version of triangle pose. Feel your left toes pressing down, or rather feel your left toes lengthening towards the front of the mat. Feel your right heel pressing down. So notice the bottoms of the feet on the mat. Very important here. Hug the left outer hip in. Maybe begin to float up that right arm up towards the ceiling here. Good. Inhale, float the right arm up. Bring your hands to your hips again. Bend into that left knee. So as you bend into that left knee, just feel that right heel pressing down. Feel the left foot pressing down and feel into your feet. Straighten through the left leg. Turn both feet back to center and again fold all the way forward. Take your hands down to the mat, release your hands on down, and just begin to move your hand, or rather move your shoulders right and left very slowly. So just beginning to move right and left and right and left. Interlace the forearms here, release the head on down, and just moving from right to left and from right to left a few times here. Now, take the hands to the hips. Press down through the balls of the feet. Inhale, lift the chest. Come back up. Heel toe the feet together. Heel toe the feet together. And eventually bring your feet to touch. Open the palms up. Spread the fingers wide apart. See that the center chest is lifting up. Engage your core muscles here. Inhale, float those arms up above the head. As you exhale here, hinge at the hips and fold all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, sweep up the chest, the heart, the sternum here, breathing in. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and release the head on down. Inhale, float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Look to the fingers, touch the palms. As you exhale, glide the hands back down to the hips and release the palms on the hips. Step the feet wide apart. See that the feet both turn into the right side of the room. Good. From here, turn the left outer hip in, turn the right hip back. Lift through both sides of the chest and begin to glide the left side of your chest forward towards the right leg. Take your blocks and place your blocks on either side of that right leg. And then from here, begin to bend into that right knee as you release the head down and straighten through that right leg as you lift the chest up. Bend in through that knee as you release the head down. Straighten through that leg as you lift the chest up. One more time, bending through that right knee here. This time, walk the hands forward. So if your hands are on the mat, you can do this as well. Walk your hands forward and begin to float that left leg up. Release the head on down here. Left leg is lifting up. Hands are pressing down. Chest is leaning forward. Good. As you exhale, walk those blocks back, walk those blocks back, walk those blocks back. Again, a nice little forward fold here. Hands come to the hips, lift the chest, come back up to standing. From here, turn the feet in and step the feet back together. So notice here the length in that right leg, and then in the left leg, notice the relaxation, if you will. Fingers come to the center chest. Press the palms forward in front of you. Take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. Lean over the torso all the way to the right. Back to center here. Lean over the torso all the way to the left. Back to center here. Look up towards those hands. Exhale, forward fold here. Take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Draw the fingers up towards the ceiling here. Pull the fingers apart away from one another as you release the head on down. Inhale, peel the chest up, heart up, sternum up. Take the fingers together, lengthen the fingers up towards the ceiling here. Breathe. As you exhale, glide those hands back down to the hips. Step the feet wide apart, and spin both feet over to the opposite side. Good. Now you're going to take your hands, place them on your blocks, and release your blocks to either side of your left leg here. Release the head on down and breathe. Actually, inhale, lengthen through the chest. As you bend that left knee, begin to release the head down towards the knee. As you straighten through the left leg, begin to lift the chest up. As you bend into that knee, begin to release the head on down. As you straighten through the leg, begin to lengthen the chest up. One more time, bending through the knee, releasing the head down. Inhale, lifting through the chest. Walk those blocks back to center. Inhale, lifting the heart up. As you exhale here, taking your block and placing your block right underneath your head. Release the hands down to the mat. Good. As you release the head down, breathe in here, draw the hips back, draw the thighs back, and release the head on down. Nice. All right, so from here, you're going to begin to walk those fingers right underneath your shoulders and allow the outer elbows to draw in and up. Lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum here. Take your hands to the blocks and lengthen on up. Good. Once again, turn your feet over to the right side of the room. Release your left knee on down. Take your right leg, walk your hands back, and walk your hands on forward. Release your head on down here. Draw the right hip back. Draw the left hip forward. Breathe here. Nice. And then as you continue to breathe, walk those hands back. Bend into that right knee. Walk the hands forward. Walk the hands forward. Walk the hands forward. Right knee is bent. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward. As you exhale here, ooh, I forgot something. Okay, step the left leg forward here and step the right leg back. My apologies. You're going to bend that left knee and you're going to float the right leg up. So keep walking those hands forward and release the head on down. Good. All right, there we go. So as you continue to breathe here, turn the right hip down. Lift the right inner leg up and release the head on down. As you exhale, lower that right foot all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the chest. Exhale, release the head on down. Okay, now walk your left toes back again. Okay, so from here, let's take our hands, or rather, let's take your right hand and place it on your block. Take your left hand, place it on your hip. And just breathe here. So now we're in this extended triangle pose. You're going to take your left arm up towards the ceiling. Bend the elbow and place the left hand behind the back. That's it. Inhale, look towards the floor. Breathe here, okay? So you have this opening chest, heart, shoulder pose. Then you're going to lift on up, bend into that right knee, and float the right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep bending into that right knee. Keep lifting those toes up and looking up towards those right fingers. Hands come to the hips here, straighten through the right leg, and turn your right foot in. Turn your left leg out this time. So now you have to grab your blocks and place them on the other side. Just release the head down to start. All right, from here, you're going to begin to straighten your left leg. Right hand comes to the right hip crease. Inhale, float the right arm up towards the ceiling. So reach up, reach up, reach up. See that your right hip is spinning down. See that both sides of the chest are lifting up. Breathe here. And then inhale, lifting on up. Very nice, guys. Turn your feet in and step your feet back together. Excellent. Inhale, lift the arms up. Look to the fingers. Maybe the palms touch. Exhale, releasing the hands down to the mat. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, heart, and sternum here. So we're going to begin to move through a flow. Walk the feet back, downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, lower the knees down to the mat. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart, and sternum here for Bhujangasana. Exhale, pressing down through those hands. Downward facing dog pose again. So we're going to take a couple of rounds of this as you will. So once again, you're going to press through the fingers, look forward in between the hands, walk the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lift the chest halfway up. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, taking the hands back down to the sides. And again, inhale, floating those arms up, palms to touch. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding all the way forward. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum here. And as you exhale, plant those hands down to the mat. Walk the feet back. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, shifting into plank. Lower the knees down. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. As you inhale here, peel the chest on up. And as you exhale, you're going to press those hips back and find your way into downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, breathing here. Continuing to spread through the fingers. Continuing to wrap the outer triceps in as you release the head on down. Good. Walk the feet forward, walk the feet forward, walk the feet forward. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Inhale, spinning the palms up towards the ceiling for Urdhva Hastasana pose. As you exhale, bringing those hands back down to the sides. One more time, guys. Inhale, float those arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, heart, and the sternum. Walking the feet back, finding your way into downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank, lowering those knees down. Lowering the chest all the way down. Inhale, peeling up the chest, heart, and sternum. As you exhale, pressing on back for downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, stepping the right foot in between the hands and spinning the left heel down. Inhale, warrior two pose. Reach that left arm back, reach that right arm forward, and be here for a moment. We're going to move somewhat dynamically. Inhale, straightening your right leg as you take the arms to touch. Exhale, bending into that right knee as you lengthen over those right fingers. Inhale, sweeping those arms up to touch here. Exhale, sweeping forward over those right fingers. One more time. Inhale, sweeping those arms up. Exhale, sweeping forward over those right fingers. Reverse the warrior here and then windmill those hands down to the mat. Glide your right leg back to the left. Shift forward plank. Lower those knees down. Lower the chest all the way. Inhale, peeling up the chest, heart, and sternum. As you exhale, pressing on back. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose again, looking in between the hands and stepping this time. The left foot in between the hands, spinning the right heel out. Inhale, opening up the arms out to the sides, warrior two pose. Warrior two pose, see that your left heel is in line with your right arch. See that your left buttocks is drawing in. Inhale, float those arms all the way up. Exhale, bringing those elbows down to the sides. Inhale, floating those arms all the way up. Exhale, bringing those hands down to the sides. Inhale, floating those arms all the way up. One more time. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the sides. Reverse the warrior here. Windmill the hands down to the mat. And glide your left foot to meet your right. Plank pose. Lower the knees down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, stepping the right foot in between the hands, spinning the left heel down. Inhale, warrior one pose. Warrior one pose, walking the right toes over to the right, arms come out to the sides, warrior two pose. Reverse the warrior again. Straighten through the right leg and bring your right hand outside of your right leg. Bring your left hand down to the left hip. Look down towards the floor. Just be here for a moment. Let the left hip turn down towards the mat just so that your left hip feels good. If your hand doesn't touch the floor, bring your hand to the shin here. Inhale, float that left arm up. Again, bending into that right knee and finding your way into warrior two. Reverse the warrior. And then from reverse warrior, walk your right toes over towards the right side of the room. Spin your hips a little bit more forward. Open the arms up for warrior one. Release the hands down to the mat. Glide your right leg back. Shift forward plank pose. Lower those knees down. Lower the chest all the way down. Inhale, peeling up chest, heart, and sternum. As you exhale, pressing on back for downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose here. See that those hips float all the way back. Stepping your left foot in between the hands, spinning the right heel out. Inhale, warrior one. Walking the left toes over to the right side of the mat, warrior two. Warrior two pose, straightening through that left leg. And as you exhale, triangle pose. So you can bring your left hand to the left shin, left thigh, or a block behind the left leg. I'd always recommend a block here, maybe even two blocks here, as you lift through that right arm. That's it. Inhale, floating that right arm up, bending into that left knee again. From here, you're going to take your feet, you're going to walk your feet over towards the left just a little bit and take the arms up towards the ceiling for Warrior One. Exhale, plant the hands down, glide your left leg back, shift forward, knees to the ground, plank pose, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then release the head down. Now take your hands all along the sides of the body. The backs of the fingers begin to face the ceiling here. Begin to look forward, chin forward, lengthening the heart, and begin to lengthen the fingers back to the back of the mat. Crown of the head is long. Lift the fingers up off the mat. So allow the belly to be engaged here and float the right leg up. Hug the right outer thigh in and breathe here. Keep drawing in, keep drawing in, keep drawing in, and lift the fingers up. Now lift the left toes up. Draw the feet in. So see that the big toe mounts touch. See that the toes are spreading wide apart. Lengthen through the side ribs here. Hug the belly in and breathe. Now as you exhale, lower that head down and turn the head to the opposite side. Good. Then from here, you're going to come back to center. You're going to inhale, peel up the chest, heart, and sternum, and float those legs on up again. So see that those legs float up. Hug the belly in, hug the belly in, hug the belly in. So this is a really nice core strengthener. Let the pinky toe side of the foot revolve down to the mat as the big toe side of the foot touches. Good. Exhale, lower that head on down. Now take your hands, bring them next to the side ribs. Inhale, peel up the chest here. Exhale, pressing on back. Downward facing dog pose. Release the head on down. Walk the feet forward, walk the feet forward, walk the feet forward. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, folding here. Inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling for Urdhva Hastasana pose. Exhale, taking the hands back down to the sides. Take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers here. Draw both fingers over to the right side of the room. Begin to bring the head over towards your right shoulder. That's it. So lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum. Nice little side stretch here. Back to center again. Draw those elbows over to the other side. Hug the back. Hug the fingers in and begin to bring the head over to the left side. That's it. Back to center again. Inhale, float those arms up. Bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Take the big toe mounds to the floor. Press down through the feet. Lift through the chest, heart, and sternum and breathe here. Wrap the outer arms in and continue to breathe. Bend the elbows and release the head all the way down. Keep drawing the elbows out wide away from one another. See that those elbows are moving to equal and opposite parts of the mat. And then from here, as you feel ready, take the hands back to the hips, press through the feet, inhale, lift the chest, come back up. Then from here, interlace the fingers once again. Press the palms forward in front of you. Take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Again, lengthen those arms all the way out to the right. And back to center again and all the way out to the left. And back to center again. Release the hands back behind the back. Interlace the fingers here. Pull the fingers down to the mat. Lift the chest up and breathe. As you exhale, hinge on forward. Forward fold here. Interlace those fingers above the head, release the head on down. Keep drawing those fingers away from one another as you release the head on down. Breathe here. Inhale, lifting the chest on up. Inhale, lifting the arms on up. As you exhale, find your way to the front of the mat, release the hands on down. Walk the feet back, walk the feet back, walk the feet back. Downward facing dog pose. Take the feet a little wider apart, release the head towards the floor. Lift the inner forearms up, wrap the outer armpits in, and breathe here. Lower the knees down to the mat. Lower the knees down to the mat. Inhale, peel up the chest. Good, and as you exhale here, you're going to take your left hand and you're going to glide it underneath your right arm. So release the head here. This is a great opportunity to release the head. Allow the left shoulder to draw back. Allow the left hip to draw back, and breathe here. Draw the left buttocks back, draw the right buttocks back. Now press through the right palm. Inhale, lift up the chest here. Glide your right hand over the other side. So now you turn the chest over to the opposite side here. Release the head down. Breathe. Breathe. We had a really nice little warm-up today. Keep breathing into the side ribs. Keep breathing into the sternum. Breathe here. And then pressing down, inhale, lifting up. Interlace the fingers right below the crown of the head. And then walk the knees back, walk the knees back, walk the knees back. Elbows are about shoulders width distance as you lengthen through the backs of those heels and bring the chest on forward. Keep pressing through the fingers, keep pressing through the forearms, keep pressing through the elbows. Allow the outer shoulders to spread towards the outer arms here. Good. Hug the belly in as you breathe. And then from here, just begin to take your toes and walk your toes in and walk your toes in and walk your toes in. This is called dolphin's pose. So it's a really good pose for the shoulders. You don't have to walk your feet in too much. You just walk your feet in enough so that you start to feel the stretch. Wrap those outer arms in. Feel the outer shoulders lifting towards the hip bones. Feel the belly drawing in here as you breathe. And you'll lower those knees down to the mat all the way. Press down through the hands, lift through the chest. Exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog pose, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Downward facing dog pose. We're going to take the left knee into the chest, and you're going to step your left foot out to the left foot moves to the right hand, okay? Then from here, get all confused. Then from here, you release the left buttocks down towards a block. So you can bring that block onto the lowest setting if you'd like, or the middle setting, and softly release the heads down. If you have a second block here, what I'd recommend doing is taking your second block and placing your second block right in front of your head. This is like an awesome variation as you release the head on down. Just breathe here. Continue to breathe as you draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Allow for the tailbone to lengthen towards the backs of the knees here. And then from here, begin to softly lift your way on up. Lift your way on up. Lift your way on up. Take that left leg on back. Come back into downward facing dog pose here. Draw the right knee into the chest. Step the right leg out. Sit down onto your right buttocks. And begin to release your head on down here. So once again, finding your way into your variation of pigeon's pose. Release that head on down, close the eyes, and breathe here. Pigeon's pose is a great pose to take, helps to open up the hips. It's a restorative pose. So today's sequence is like a 50-50. 50% workout, 50% relaxation. So 50-50 sequence. All right, lift that head on up. Come back. Remove your blocks. Take your legs, sweep them on back, downward facing dog pose again. Downward facing dog pose this time. You're going to lower your knees down onto the mat. We're going to find our way onto our seat. We're going to find our way actually onto our backs. You're going to hug those knees into the chest here and breathe, okay? We're going to do a little bit of core work. As you guys know, even though this is a wellness class, I still like to hit the core work in there. I just think that core work is very important, and throughout a lot of my practices, I've neglected it, so that's why I try to incorporate it in as many classes as I can. So as we feel ready here, you're going to take your hands back behind the head. You're going to lift the head up. You're going to lift the chest up, lift the shoulders up. You're going to tap both feet down to the floor. And then you're going to draw both knees over towards the elbows. You're going to tap both feet to the floor. You're going to draw both knees to the elbows. Tap both feet to the floor.
draw both knees to the elbows. Tap both feet to the floor, draw both knees to the elbows. Release the feet down onto the mat. Lift the shoulders up, lift the chest up, and breathe here. You're going to lift up, lift up, lift up. All right, and exhale, release down. So this is the pose. So you're going to lift the chest, lift the shoulders, lift the heart, okay? Then you're going to lift the legs up. You're going to lift higher, okay? You're going to release the legs down. See if you can lift up even higher. Exhale, lower all the way down. So this is the sequence. Ready? Bring the hands back behind the head. It's a little bit easier. You're going to lift up the chest. Then you're going to draw the legs up. They're going to lift up any amount. Then you're going to lift up again. Then you're going to lower the legs down. You're going to lift them up again. And then you're going to release all the way down. So we're going to do that 5 more times. Lift up the chest. Lift up the legs. Lift up the chest. Lower the legs. Lift up the chest. Hold. And lower all the way down. It's a really nice workout for the body. Lift up the chest, lift up the legs. Lift up the chest, lower the legs. Lift up the chest and hold. Lower all the way down. You should feel this by now. Lift up the chest, lift up the legs. Lift up the chest, lower the legs. Lift up the chest again, lower all the way down. 2 more, guys. Lift up the chest, lift up the legs. Lift up the chest, lower the legs. Lift up the chest, and lower all the way down. Last one, guys. Inhale, lift. Lift the legs. Lift the chest, lower the legs. One more time, lift and hold. And lower all the way down. Excellent work, guys. Lower both knees all the way down to the right side. Take if you have a block, what you could do is you could place a block in between your legs here. And you can place that block right in between your legs as you release your legs off to the side. Arms are lengthening, chest is open, and breathe here. Come back to center, bring the legs over to the other side. So right now we're starting to unwind into our more restorative sequence, if you haven't already noticed. So I call this class a 50-50. And that's because it's 50% active and 50% passive. So it's a 50-50 sequence. Some would call this a Vinyan sequence, Vinyasa and Yin Yoga. But I like the 50-50. Okay. Remove that block. Eventually roll over onto your other side. Press your way up. Find a seat, a blanket of a sort, and just have a seat on your blanket. You're going to begin to take your right leg, cross it over your left leg, and then you're going to begin to twist, open face twist. So even though you're holding the leg, you're twisting towards the open face of the twist. You're twisting with the right knee. Close the eyes and breathe here. So from now on, the sequence is completely relaxing. You know, if there's any other poses that you'd like to take that are different than my poses, you can feel free to take those. Just breathe here. And then you're going to take that right leg forward, extend it forward in front, and draw the left knee to a bend. Grab that left leg and twist over to the left, or to the right side rather. And come back to center. You're going to take your feet and bring your feet together here as you move into a forward fold. Now, if you have your blocks, you can place your blocks on either side of your legs. This is a great modification to take in Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose, bound angle pose, as you release your head on down. All right, lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum here. Take your legs forward in front of you. Take your legs forward in front of you. Take your right knee, bend it in only. Take a block, place it right behind that right leg. If you have a strap, grab hold of your strap, place the strap right over that left foot, and begin to lengthen the chest on forward. If you don't have a strap, just grab hold of your shin and lengthen here. And breathe. This is one of my favorite poses. It's called Janu Shirshasana, or head to knee pose. It's not that we have to take the head to the knee, but we're moving in that direction. The right side of the chest is lengthening towards the left outer foot. And you're breathing here. All right. Remove. Take your right leg, extend it on forward. Take your left leg, bring the strap around.
And then from here, again, you're going to glide your strap right around the top of the right foot. You're going to release the head down and breathe here. Oftentimes just closing the eyes and just resting here is enough. All right, lifting on up. Taking your strap, placing it over both feet, and lengthening both legs on out, and releasing that head on down. This is called Paschimottanasana, or the west facing the east pose. And breathing here. Okay, lift the chest on up. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Good. So now we're going to find our way onto our backs again. You're going to hug your knees into your chest. You can, if you have a blanket, you can lay your head on it just fine, or you can just move it out to the side. We're going to extend our right leg up towards the ceiling here. So bend the right knee in. Take your strap, place it right above the right, or right below the right ball of the foot, and then just lift your right leg up. And close your eyes here. So as you continue to breathe, see that your right outer hip is drawing towards your left heel. See that the left buttocks flesh is moving towards the right heel. Feel your left foot lengthening as well. Continue to breathe as both shoulder blades move into the sides of the chest. And breathe here. Now bend that right knee and change legs. Take the left foot up towards the ceiling and do the same. The left leg extends up, both shoulders draw in towards the shoulder sockets. Press to the right ball of the foot here. And let both outer arms draw in.
bring that left knee back to a bent position again.
Good.
So from here, you're going to take your blocks, you're going to place them back underneath your thighs as you take your feet together. This is called Supta Baddha Konasana. We've taken this pose before. If you don't have blocks, you could take you could take blankets under the legs, you could take a bolster under the legs, just rest here. And eventually, my friends, just begin to bring your legs forward and extend your legs fully on your mat. Tadasana. Shavasana. Shavasana and Tadasana are like the same. So eventually, you're going to begin to draw those knees into a bent position here. And you're going to rock the legs right and left a few times. And you're going to roll onto your right side. Be here for a moment. As you feel ready, you're going to gently press your way up and come into a seated position. So as you find your way into a seated position, cross the legs and close the eyes. Just be here for a moment. So our breath always is a way that we can redirect our attention and our focus. So taking your attention back to your breath. And as you take your attention to the breath, just bring your hands to the center chest. As you exhale, bowing deeply to your breath, just releasing the chin towards the chest. Lifting the head back up, gently opening the eyes here.
I wish you all a phenomenal day today. I hope that you're well. I hope you're happy. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. Really nice balancing flow 50-50 style practice. My name is Jason Gorenstein. We do this every single weekday at 3 p.m. And yeah, please continue to keep practicing. It's awesome. We got a good group of people here. So as you feel ready, let's just see here. So thank you guys so much. You just watched our integrative wellness class. My name is Jason Gorenstein. Give a thumbs up sign or a heart sign if you enjoyed the class. Also, if you have any comments, I'll reply to your comments after. And if you want to share the videos, please feel free to share the videos. I also have a little Venmo QR code, so if you feel like sending a Venmo, always grateful for that. And all these videos are uploaded afterwards to YouTube. So if you missed the video, please check it out on YouTube. You can participate in the video on YouTube as well. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. Be well, be happy, my friends, and I will look forward to seeing you all soon. Namaste, yogis. Thank you guys so much.